All right, live and alive. There we go, baby. There we go. We got the developer update live in about 30 minutes. So I've decided to hop on a little early in order to get this show on the road. So, what do we say? You guys hyped for this developer update or what? I don't know exactly when it's going to start. I might hop on some Diablo in the meantime. Oh, I think they just went live. There's like 8,000 people here. Nice. So let's see. Let's see how let's see how this shit goes. They're probably gonna do like a countdown or something. I need to get my earbuds. Give me a second, guys. All right, I'm back. Don't worry. Guys, get this. A bird. One of those little tiny cute brown birds. Freaking smashed into our back window. And it was just I thought it was gonna die. I thought it broke its neck or something. It was just laying on the ground. And picked it up. Lindsay and I kind of put it in a little box so it was safe from the dogs. And it just needed like an hour or so, a couple hours to just recoup, and it flew away. And it's good. It just flew away right now. I'm super happy about it. Okay, the sound's working. So that's my morning. Just, another day saving birds' lives. That's how it goes. That's how it goes around here. Follower only chat? Followers only chat? I have to follow these fuckers? Oh well, I'll follow them. I love their little background they got going here. Oh, hey, Lindsay. Good to see you in the chat. Keep it up, devs. This is the first Blizzard game since 2008. Fuck, stop. First Blizzard games 2008 and the involvement of Activision where you provide a feeling that you actually care about your players and not only the money. Okay, that was a well thought out chat there. Did you ever reimburse the level 100 guy in hardcore who died because the microtransaction shop wasn't working? How does that work? What? World boss in 8 minutes? Ah, shit. Maybe I do have to play some Diablo while I'm waiting. Yeah, might as well, right? Might as well. Oh, my guy looks so sick now, dude. Oh my god. Look at this freaking sick-ass armor. That is just so cool. I'll be constantly keeping tabs on this as well. Let's see. They don't have a little... They don't have a countdown or anything, but it'll start in like 20-something minutes. Let's go to my chest over here and drop these flippin' gems off. And maybe just run a few nightmare dungeons. What do you say? A few nightmare dungeons before we get into the dev talk. Oh, there's a hell tide? And somebody said something about a world boss. 6 minutes. Okay, I'll go do the world boss, actually. What a hero. Somebody in the chat was like, world boss in 8 minutes. World boss before the dev chat. What a legend. Actually, I'm going to do the world boss in World Tier 4. Might as well, right? Hopefully I don't insta-die. I'll just let other players carry me. Oh. Oh no, same spot. Okay. Lol. I was like, is there no world boss in... Are they different? Eight minutes, let's go. I mean, probably 5 minutes now. Come on, I'm gonna make it. Oh my god. What the fuck is this? I ain't never seen that before. Holy shit. That would be absolutely terrifying. But I don't know what's going on with this helmet, but the fabric always gets freaking lifted up somehow. Follower only chat. You need to be a follower for 10 minutes to chat. These are the dumbest, most arbitrary rules of all time. Don't you want people to follow and then chat? Oh my god. I'm about to unfollow.
Yes.
What a dumb, arbitrary rule. Oh, you're cool? This guy looks cool. I love the purple. Oh, the swords are sick. I can't wait to try Rogue. I bet all the devs are waiting to go live after they do the world boss.
You are courting pain and death.
You are courting pain and death.
Well done. You are caught.
Look.
I'm impressed.
There are so many ways I could kill you.
Aid would be welcome.
Pain and death.
Look.
I could use some assistance.
Look.
I need help. Hello.
Look.
I love the emotes.
You are courting. Yes.
I love them.
Look.
Okay, if you're just joining the chat, we're doing a world boss before the developer update. Shit. The developer update is going on, but they're not live yet. Starts at 11.
Look.
Yes.
Look.
This shit is terrifying. Could you imagine just fucking mobbing up to this shit?
Look.
Like, holy fuck. Was this a portal to hell? This is disgusting. It looks like the beast from Path of Exile. That's what it reminds me of.
Look.
Hey, my Arklash brethren.
I'm impressed.
Look.
Arklash brethren, let's go.
Well done.
Look.
How's he spinning so fucking fast? Did he just ult? Oh, I guess it's gonna be up by the time the boss comes. So it's all good.
Look. Look.
Got my good old gamer juice. I like this guy's little ice.
Look.
Get up.
Look.
I could use some assistance.
No. Look.
He just said no.
Look.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, I'm not about to die. I can take a hit from this fool. Level 90? Dude, the lag is real. Holy shit.
Look. Look. Look.
Uh-oh. He ain't hitting me. He ain't even close. This is gonna be easy.
Very tired.
do not want to die.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay. A little stronger than I initially gave him credit for. I feel so slow. Oh. That freaking flame shield saved my goddamn life. Somebody was slain. Idiot. Got his ass. That felt good. Level 90, dude.
Look.
Ooh, 2 ancestral items. Oh, 3 ancestral items. I'll fucking take it.
Look.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. $25,000 people are watching this right now. That's crazy. I didn't expect that shit. I love that. First ancestral items. Not good. Oh. Ancestral focus. Cold damage, critical strike chance, critical strike damage, damage to close. That's good. That's good. I'll reroll cold damage, but everything else is good. More crit strike chance than anything else I have. That's a high roll, 4.6%. Ooh wee. Damage to frozen, damage to slowed, damage over time. Vulnerable damage. Decent vulnerable damage roll. Oh, but the damage per second's really good. I'll get rid of that. $14 all stats, resource generation, lucky hit chance, 5% lucky hit chance? Oh, that's not as good as what I have. So, more damage per second though. Unfortunately. But the modifiers aren't worth re-rolling, I don't think. These, on the other hand, these are possibly worth re-rolling. Damage to frozen, damage to slowed, damage over time. Users may send messages every 60 seconds. I'm gonna go re-roll this ring. So we don't want cold damage. Yo, max life? Okay. I think I still want damage, though. Damage to chilled, no change. Let's try one more. 12% damage to burning enemies. That's what I want. Yes. Now I just replace the affix. And then I'm good on it. Okay. Okay, there's only like 10 minutes until shit starts, so I'm probably gonna... Yeah, this ring is perfect now, actually. Damage to close. Critical strike damage, critical strike chance, and damage to burning. That's amazing. Shadow resistance and poison resistance. I do need poison. Shadow. Now I gotta figure out which one to replace it with. Strike chance, lightning damage, damage to close, lucky hit chance. Critical strike chance, life, barrier, critical strike damage. This is probably the one I replace it with. Yeah, for sure. This lightning one. Yeah, that's the one I go with. Okay, let's chill in the chat here. Eight minutes until the true world boss spawn. What are you talking about? Nerf everything, game too easy. Wait, why do you say this music is Chef's Kiss? Do I have it muted or something? Somebody just said PoE will eat this game. I don't know. There can't be any music right now. Why does it say they're offline? This doesn't make any sense. They're live, but they're offline. Makes no sense. I don't believe it. Please say something about vulnerability. What would they like them to say about vulnerability? Just curious. We should only communicate using D4 emotes. Buff nerfs. Yes, please. Buff nerfs. Let's do some shop perusing.
Hail, wanderer. Laid before you is the bounty.
Shut the fuck up. I want to know if that guy replied to me. Dude, am I a fucking noob? I don't know how to see if somebody replied. PoE 2 will destroy this game 100%. People are... The PoE versus Diablo rivalry is intense. Buff this, nerf that. Well, they added new stuff. This is cool. Whoop.
Interesting choice.
No, I didn't choose that one. I choose this one. 1,000 platinum. How much is platinum? So 1,000 is like 10 bucks. It's exactly 10 bucks. So you're telling me this is 10 bucks. This looks like katana.
I see.
This is cool. Katana from Mortal Kombat. Oh shit. Why do the cosmetics, the paid for cosmetics? Oh, and they even got wands. Why do they gotta be cool? Why do they gotta be so cool? The nice thing about this game is that the in-game stuff is really cool. I want a sick-ass, like, back attachment. Oh, I saw somebody with this skin. Oh, this one's cool. Nothing? There's 3 minutes till 11. They're probably gonna come live with their countdown. Nerf Summoner Necro? What? Plus Summoner Druid? I didn't even know there was a Summoner Druid. Druid greater than Rogue, greater than Necro, greater than Sork, greater than Barb. Huh. Press 1 to skip Diablo Immortal news. Yeah, who the fuck even cares about Diablo Immortal? The Q&A is scripted. You have no power here. Please buff Sorks and buff Necro mobility. I don't think Necro needs mobility buffed. I think their whole deal is that their minions are supposed to, like, account for that, you know? Paladin in Season 2. Is the stream lagging just for me? Are people fucking trolling? Nothing's happening. People are pissing me off. I'm losing my mind now. Nothing's happening, right? This is it. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, please. We'll deliver these reactions anonymously after the stream to give the streamer a snapshot of how viewers felt about key moments. Oh, weird. Can react every 5 minutes. Let me just check here real quick. Just to make sure. that I'm not crazy. Yo, what the fuck? Oh, there we go. Why is it muted? God damn it.
What is the power? If you have power, you should use it whenever
Good thing
possible.
I looked, because I had to
decided to,
refresh
so-
this.
So we have Rod here, who is, of course, the general manager of the Diablo
Universe,
family, universe.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way.
all
to say
things Diablo.
Can't use the word franchise.
Pierre's not here now.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we have Chris Leal
Lead UX designer on Immortal.
and Ryan Quinn.
Immortal, boo.
Narrative designer on Immortal.
So we are actually starting off today's show.
Fucking
with,
Immortal
some
nerds.
Diablo Immortal conversations. Also, I do want to mention we're using new fancy mics today. We've been joking around, and I call them the Britney Spears mic.
Right.
Rod calls them the Janet Jackson mic.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Jackson. There
It's
you
because
go.
I'm older.
Rod, but is not wearing one
I
of
refuse.
them.
It doesn't take a genius to see the size of my head, and the ability to put that little wire around this size of noggin is impossible. So therefore, I've passed.
Disappointing. But he does have a really good impression.
I have a big ass head
I
too,
am
my
not
guy.
doing it now. I am not doing it.
Okay, maybe we can get it out of him.
I'll knot my shirt later. It'll be good.
Maybe we can get it out of him during Q&A. Someone asked that question in Twitch chat. We'll make sure to bring that up during Q&A. And
Great.
there you go. You're just on the spot and you have to answer it. So
I think it's important that, like, last time you clarified what we were doing was the campfire, which is more of a casual, we're just kind of giving updates. You know, we just want to be able to talk to the community.
Yes.
This is more of a developer stream, so it's a bit more official.
Yes.
But one of the things we wanted to recognize, too, is that, like, as a family of games, there's lots of cool stuff happening within in Diablo, and so we don't always want to just be focused on just D4. We want, anytime there's something big or really interesting happening within Diablo, we want to be able to talk about it. You know, I could imagine we're going to have a season 29 conversation for Diablo 3 at some point.
Season
in the future.
29. For Diablo
And
3?
so one of the things we're going to look at, to do today,
say
was
season
not
29
just talk
for
about, you know, we are
Diablo
definitely
3?
going to talk about season 1 on Diablo 4. And for some reason, Adam has structured this to be as tantric as possible. We'll get there, trust us, but it's going to take a minute. So, but what we really want to look at as well is we want to talk about a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about what's the preseason before we go into season 1. We're going to talk about, you know, what's going on with D4 today, because we actually have some news about today. Another tease, didn't mean that. And
Tantric.
and then we want to talk a little bit about Diablo Immortal, because something
Get
pretty
this
incredible is
fucking
happening in
DraftKings
Diablo
shit
Immortal,
off of
which is,
here.
in nearly a decade, we're having our first new Diablo character class is being revealed, and we wanted to reveal it here on this stream. So, you know, one of the great things about Blizzard is
this
the,
real?
SFD team.
Is this
so
what
in
Twitch does
franchise
now?
And Blizzard Video and everything that they do around cinematics, and we thought, how could we introduce a new character class without having a
Is this
kick-ass
fucking real,
video
these
to go with it?
ads?
So, without further ado, may we present to you the new Diablo character class coming to Diablo Immortal very, very soon.
Boo, Diablo Immortal. Nobody gives a shit. Who even plays Diablo Immortal? Fuck this ad, dude.
The darkness has always been with us.
Was it like a vampire slayer?
To fear it. The darkness wants to consume you and all you love.
Or is it a vampire?
But my kind claim its power and wield it in defiance.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
Humanity is right to fear the darkness. I am a Blood Knight. And
Blood Knight.
darkness fears me.
Wow, look how amazing Diablo Immortal looks, guys. The cinematic was epic, but Diablo Immortal, get this shit out of my face. A Blood Knight would be sick as fuck for Diablo 4. So... that's cool, okay? That's cool, but Diablo Immortal...
And there we have it. The new class coming to Diablo and Diablo Immortal. It's the Blood Knight.
July 13th. That's
July
like
13th.
a little over a week away.
Exactly.
Nobody gives a shit. Skip to
Sounds
Diablo
like there would have
4.
been some encoding issues.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that some people are talking about there's a little bit of hitching on it and so forth. I will say that we actually do have that trailer that will be on a blog on DiabloImmortal.com immediately after the stream, so people can actually check it out. It'll be on YouTube along with all the details that we're.
I would
about
love
to
to
talk
see if anybody actually
because I can
cares
get ahead
about
of
that.
ourselves, that's all. But obviously, first new class to the Diablo universe in nearly 10 years. I think there's a lot of questions. In
Make
regards
Immortal
to
more
the
predatory.
story and so forth behind the Blood Knight. Ryan,
Yeah, I don't know if
like,
anybody even...
give us a little bit of background.
lot of hate on
regarding
Diablo
the
Immortal.
Blood Knight itself.
Yeah, sure. So I think historically, when we released DI, we released it with these sort of 6 very, very familiar, very stalwart classes that all of us love, that many of us have been playing for decades. And it's great
Barbarian,
to kind
Rogue.
of indulge in that nostalgia. It's great to get that dopamine hit of playing
Sorcerer,
a classic.
Paladin.
But after 6 classes, it left us with the opportunity to do
Druid.
something that felt really new and different.
Something else.
To do a supernatural class that's kind of monstrous, that does things that our other dark classes like the Necromancer and the Demon Hunter
Necromancer.
don't do. And so we're really, really stoked about the opportunity to release the Blood Knight on everybody.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I know. Like, obviously, everyone's kind of seeing the Blood Knight, and they're thinking, like, is this like vampiric in some sort of way, or like how does this fit in with the actual lore within Diablo?
Right. So the fine details are Blood Knights and vampires are intertwined. On Sanctuary, vampires are kind of like living plagues. They go from hunting ground to hunting ground. They kill people, they bite people, and sometimes people who they've bitten, they suffer this monstrous transformation. They start to devolve into what we call thralls, kind of like lesser vampiric beings, long teeth, hunger for blood, all that stuff. And a Blood Knight is a person who, through means of an ancient ritual, has that curse of thraldom arrested inside them, frozen essentially in place.
That's
They
pretty
get
fucking
some
sick.
advantages, but they get some drawbacks too.
What do you
I'd
mean,
play the
curse of
fuck
turning
out of
you
a
to
Blood
thrall
Knight.
is a drawback in one way?
Well, their thraldom is essentially on pause. So basically what happens is a Blood Knight, also preternaturally strong and fast, can see in the dark, can smell blood from a mile away, doesn't age anymore, as you've seen in the concept art, very, very fancy. But on the flip side, you know, they have these blood red eyes, they have black veins in their face,
Right.
makes people uncomfortable.
I see why.
Yeah, I know, right. And sort of more pivotally than that, you know, deep
That
inside
weapon's
their
fucking
soul,
sick.
there is an abomination, a monstrous darkness that hungers
Ugh.
for violence. And in order to
I just
tamp
wish
that
this was for
down,
Diablo
in order to
4.
slow their transformation further, they have to perform a ritual. That keepsake that you saw in our cinematic character's right hand, the little thing on the chain.
Oh, the chain, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically their lifeline.
I see.
So
a
like,
link to their past?
yeah. It's got a memento within of the last place that they were kind of truly human.
Right.
And so every morning, noon, and night, they're doing ablutions with this thing to hopefully continue to keep the darkness at bay. But, you know, it's a process.
Right.
The ritual, it's hearsay. You know, it's been passed down for hundreds of years. And for basically every Blood Knight, you know, it may fail at some point. All Blood Knights are doomed to one day succumb to their curse.
And they don't know if that's 1 day, 1 year, 1,000 years.
Could
They
be
don't know.
centuries,
Right, yeah.
right? They're very, very long
Fucking
lived.
sick.
What they do know and what they pledge on is that they're going to use all of the time they have left to push back the darkness. And ultimately for them, since that is such an uncertain question, it's really about their their inner sense of
I
balance.
want that
can
archangel
undo
statue back
enough
there.
Good
Right.
to make up for the evil that will rise when I'm gone.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out because we had the art up there earlier, and that art is gorgeous looking. At the same time, they're very pretty. I've been joking about it. I'm like, oh,
texted
look,
me?
they're so pretty.
If you were going to turn into a monster, you'd want to stop
Well,
right
it's
there,
funny
right?
because they're very gorgeous here, and then they turn into the abomination, which is really funny to see. So it's like a complete opposite of what it is.
I mean, you mentioned the abomination. I think we saw the Blood Knight turn into this creature during that. So what actually is going on here? Like this is I guess Chris will talk eventually about like how an abomination comes to me. But this is basically them tapping into what's inside them to change form.
Yeah, they're letting the curse off the leash just a little bit. It's going to grant them extreme power in the short term.
This is the Bruce Banner
but-
Hulk thing.
Yeah, but maybe there's a little anime teardrop there of like, do I come back from this?
Right. Okay. Got it.
Awesome. Well, I know with Blood Knight, obviously, like, it's new class. How does it fit, Chris, into the like a gameplay style? Like, what if you're playing at Blood Knight? What can you expect the style to be as a person that's actually jumping into Diablo?
Yeah, so the Blood Knight is actually a melee hybrid class, meaning there's tons of up-close combat with polearms. However, they have a host of shadow and blood abilities they can use to manipulate the battlefield in their favor. I think the drawback of Blood Knights might be that players that start playing it might feel that their mobility is limited. However, they have tons of legendary essences to help them improve.
All right, so I was told I could press 1 to skip Diablo Immortal.
As well as life-stealing abilities to help them sustain themselves in lengthy combat sequences.
Got it. So, like, in combat more often, close combat, so they're essentially taking more damage, but then they have abilities themselves to actually essentially
Bro,
drain
Diablo
that, so you can
Immortal
see
looks
kind of
so
like life
bad
from others,
compared to Diablo
essentially
4.
replenish their life.
I know it's a mobile
while they're
game.
in combat.
But still,
The kebab attack, as I like to call it.
The skewer.
The skewer attack is my favorite thing right now. I was like, so what's happening there? We saw it in the trailer. We see it here as well, is where they're basically able to stab an enemy, smash it around like as if on the end of a hammer. So that's you're like Chris is like, yeah, that's basically it.
It's pretty awesome.
But it actually has a stun as well, right? It's not just the attack on the one thing that you skewered. It actually it has an area effect.
Yeah, so the Blood Knight stabs their polearm forward into the closest enemy, then swings overhead the enemy and slams it into the ground, stunning everyone.
people
in a
are so
small AoE.
caught up on the
And
season
there are
reset.
also legendary essences that let you lunge forward or actually leap to perform the slam.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's awesome.
And then I know, like, of course, with every class in Immortal, they all have
Ooh, yeah.
different ultimates depending on their
Castlevania
primary attack
inspirations.
skills and
I
so
felt
forth.
the
Like, what kind
Castlevania
of,
vibes
2 different
immediately.
ultimates can we expect with the Blood Knight?
Yeah, I could talk a bit about
Home
the
games are
primary
so
attacks.
cool.
The first is Ravage. They're basically swinging their polearm around in a 3-hit combo, and right here is the ultimate where they become a 5-hit combo with a stun at the end. And
Dual wielding pole arms. That's I like.
And the other primary attack they have is called Shadow's
Give us
Edge.
D4 news.
It's,
Skip Immortal.
quite a
Nobody
unique
here
one.
for
It's
this.
The first in Immortal where the in melee range, the Blood Knight will do.
Yeah, I wonder out of the 100,000 viewers right now, I wonder how many are actually here for Diablo Immortal or they're here for Diablo 4.
Make the dagger ricochet.
Nice. So you can essentially it's good room clear type of abilities is what I'm hearing. So if you got a ton of mobs in front of you, especially if the daggers are ricocheting and you mentioned piercing and so forth with the ultimate and everything, you can essentially clear out whole.
Do you not have computers? True.
Legendary essences and everything.
Oh
that
my
are
God.
Associated to kind of modify skills.
Bro.
I know, and we're even seeing here, this is like the abomination that we were.
These freaking ads.
Why would I want to become the abomination? What do I get?
This is Twitch's new deal.
I'll talk about the abomination a bit. The way it
These
works
ads are
is it is
horrible.
a transformative skill that requires the defeating enemies to fill the bar, much like your ultimate.
Right.
However, it happens much more often, and it then transforms your entire skill bar into a new primary attack.
That's
followed
cool.
by 2 specific skills: a blood rush, where the
That's
Blood Knight
cool.
actually dashes forward in a ball of blood. And then there's a 3-hit combo attack where
I love that you
on
ult
the
and all
last
of your
hit, you
abilities
fly through
change.
and slam the ground, stunning everyone. A lot of stuns.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome to see. I think with this update that's coming out on the 13th and the Blood Knight itself, and there are like even other components and that are kind of going to be coming with this actual update. Do you guys have any like additional information on?
Well, there's ways to play it, right? Like,
Yeah.
so the things that's really interesting, like this is, I think having a new character class introduced on basically the anniversary of Diablo Immortal is really exciting. Like, it's a great way to celebrate 1 year that Immortal has been at. It's hard to believe
Boo.
it's already been a year. It's crazy.
I've never played Diablo
But
Immortal. I
having
can't say
so I've
shit.
been like a whirlwind barbarian for a year now, and loving that. And so now I'm going to obviously. Well, one of the great things about Immortal is that you can class change. So I can take my Paragon 500 Barbarian. I know that's not high. Thank you very much. I can take my Paragon 500 Barbarian and turn it into a Blood Knight. Yes. Because there's basically
Yes.
3 ways. We have the player who's been playing for a year, like myself. We have the new player, and we have the test driver. Right, is the way to think about that. So maybe you can go through that.
Yeah, totally. So if you're brand new to Immortal and have never played before, you can play the Blood Knight right out of the gate, create a new character completely free, and start with the main story complete with.
Why did they
custom Blood Knight
specify
VM
completely
lines for all the
free?
main quest. And for players like Rod who have been playing for a while, and
Why
want
did he
to convert
specify
to the
that?
class, I'm happy to say that we've made some major improvements to class.
You could
change.
play a new character for
Strength and
free.
Intelligence will now convert properly.
A huge, I know it's
What
a
the
huge request
fuck?
that a lot of people are asking for. Yes.
Yes, it's going to be great. And also, players will be able to, during the event, change to the Blood Knight on a one-day cooldown and also revert back infinitely. So if you decide you don't like playing the Blood Knight, you can revert the day of. Or if you want to try it again tomorrow, you can go ahead and change back to the Blood Knight.
Nice. Awesome.
And lastly, I want to talk about the Crimson Plane event. So for Immortal players that are familiar with Fractured Plane, there will be a special Crimson Plane
Fractured
event
Peaks?
where there'll be
So I think a lot maybe don't know what fractured plane. So maybe just what's the 5-second version of what is fractured plane?
So Fractured Plane is basically a roguelite inside of Immortal where you're able to try out all of the skills and abilities and build towards 15 levels of defeating enemies just to try out different skills.
You basically start with a fresh class, and so you're taking your character. Like I have a very specific build with very specific gear. But if I wanted to go play Fractured Planes, it says, "Oh, you're a barbarian. Here's some random skills. See how far you can get with this," and you build up your gear and stuff as you're playing through this roguelike experience. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so now
That's kinda
for
cool.
the Blood Knight,
Like a mini
introduction, we've
hardcore?
created Crimson Planes, which is a version of the same experience to go and test drive all the different Blood Knight skills.
Exactly. So you'll be able to try out different skills and legendary essences without actually committing to changing to the class. So you just try it out, see if you like it, and if you do, there's always class change available.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome to hear.
Diablo
So
4?
We have, and we have other things, like I mentioned, that are coming in this actual update. I know that for any new player that's coming in, of course, they can create a Blood Knight, how we mentioned
Wow,
beforehand.
why is the character
customize it, and
customization
it's
so much
completely
more
free. And
detailed
then, of course,
than,
the existing character can do class
than
changes if
Diablo
they want,
4?
or they can create a new character if they would like to do it that way as well.
What the hell?
But I know we have like a new legendary gem that's going to be coming in this actual update as well. And then we even have just other items associated with this specific patch that'll be hitting
full
as
set of
well.
The
legendaries.
character
Exactly.
customization
Yeah, and
seems
we're
way
actually gonna be
better.
listing out every single
More
legendary
detail.
In the blog, yeah.
that is available for the Blood Knight on our blog immediately after the stream. So you guys
Maybe
can
I just
check out
don't remember in
the cinematic
D4.
trailer that we showed off for the Blood Knight earlier on that blog, and of course read all the details about what's coming in this update that is hitting on the 13th of July. So soon. It's crazy. We do. We're super
Chat, also let me know if the sound between me and the Diablo live stream here is okay. If it sounds good when I'm talking while they're talking, or if it's too similar in volume, let me know.
That's
I appreciate that.
Nothing like seeing blood splattered all over some stained glass. It's Diablo, so it makes perfect sense. It's great. But we are super stoked. So yeah, July 13th is when it's going to be coming out. And then, of course, again, check DiabloImmortal.com immediately after the stream. We'll have a blog up there for people to check out. All the details.
Congratulations, guys, on the
Yep.
year. It's been an amazing year for Immortal. And I think people who maybe tried it at launch and haven't gone back to take a look at it, like basically every quarter we do major updates and really change the game. So the ability to craft set items, the ability to take your duplicate legendaries and turn that into a currency so that you can make your current legend, stronger, and the way that you do dungeons now, like and the tower, the clan play, like there's just so much else going on. So it's a free-to-play game. If you want to go check it out, just to see all the changes, like I said, there's been.
Do they not have anybody specifically from Diablo 4?
Game in the sense of,
or the general Diablo guys
approach the content.
The Diablo 4 guys. I don't.
Which is exciting, but hearing the fact that you fully recorded all VO for the Blood Knight for the campaign, I think it'll be exciting to go back and start over.
Yeah, it's about 2,000 lines in total. We've got a pair of really, really awesome voice actors, Abby Trott and Ben Prendergast. Absolutely killed it as the Blood Knight. It's just pure haughtiness and bloodlust and action all the way through. They've got some interesting takes on. I was going to say the name of the villain, our Act 3 villain in Darkwood. Some interesting perspectives there. But yeah, I don't think there's ever really been a better time to re-roll, to start a new run through the main story.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much, and congratulations.
Thanks so much,
thank you.
Rod. We're stoked.
And we're going to be now switching over to D4 content. We're actually going to take like
Tommy,
a really short break.
perfect.
We gotta
Thanks,
swap
dude.
people in. This
I
room is only
appreciate
so
you
big. And we
letting me know.
mics off of people and everything. But we're going to be swapping in into our Diablo 4 segment. So
yeah, Diablo 4 segment. Let's go. Oh, a trailer for it? Shh, 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 shh. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. Everybody shut the fuck up. We've seen this shit. Unless they're introducing a Templar or something. Same. Why would they show this? Trying to see what people are saying. Nice spoiler, somebody said. Exactly. What if somebody hasn't completed the game? Why would they show this? Why would they, like... I get it. This is fucking a hype-ass cutscene. But, for real. They didn't have anything to talk about for Diablo 4, so they're just showing the coolest fucking cutscene in the game.
Today we fight true in His holy name.
I'm so irritated.
Blessed be the light.
Who is this for? Mommy, 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 mommy.
I have returned to hell for you.
Why did they show that?
And we're back.
What happened to the awkward hello? You're supposed to go, hello.
Oh, those are the
intro.
D4 guys.
Not back.
Wait.
Well, you are technically back.
So they just
I mean,
did that
you're
to
in other streams
transition.
and other times.
Correct.
That's it. That was dumb.
Oh yes,
Yes.
Tim is new. Tim also has the best voice in the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
really
Tim,
nice.
Tim is just going to talk for the rest of the stream.
Wow,
And-
I didn't prepare for that at all.
Surprise.
Maybe you should actually introduce people.
Yes,
or-
I will introduce people. We are now joined by our wonderful Diablo 4 developers.
Poor Tim.
We have Tim Ismay. May I introduce you?
Hello, Tim Ismay. I'm one of the lead producers on Diablo 4, specifically focused on seasons. I say that because if you ask me questions outside of the seasons context, I have no idea what's going on.
And you said plural.
You said
Wait,
plural.
there's more than one
I-
season.
I'm trying to build more than one.
one
Sure,
season.
yeah.
There is even
Fuck
more than
these
one
ads,
season.
dude. Get out of my
Really
face.
Or
Get out of my face.
that's job security right there.
I'm actually just asking for it. Can we get it? Yeah.
Wait, we're supposed to be thinking about job security?
And we have
Oh,
a
yeah.
familiar face.
Joey P.
Yes, I'm Joe Papora. I'm the Associate Game Director for the live service, and I'm excited to talk about Season 1 today, at last.
But first,
But first,
Oh, but first, that's right.
because Adam has built
can't-
everything possible
we
to talk
can't
about
start-
except the season.
right,
We
yeah.
can never start talking about seasons until we talk about something else first. But there are cool things to actually talk about.
Correct. Obviously, it's been
There
a
better
little
be.
over a month since Diablo 4's launched.
It's only been a month.
DraftKings,
Well,
fuck off,
if you
dude.
include,
No,
like, early
but you're
Fuck
right.
off.
It is like I always the amount of feedback we get about like, hey, this thing, and you're like, it's been like 5 weeks. Like,
Exactly.
give us a second.
Exactly.
So
It has been a month, a little bit more than a month, since Diablo 4 has
wait,
actually
how did you
launched.
guys get a season done in 4 weeks? That's incredible.
We started it well before the game launched.
that's smart.
We actually released it.
We're extremely good at our job.
Wait, so you
I don't want to get in
started
the weeds,
before the
everybody.
game
I don't
launched?
want to get in the weeds, everybody, but like we did start before the game launched to make sure that we could actually release.
I thought you were just
something.
going to say zombies are really easy to make, and so therefore it was.
Yeah,
Oh my
obviously,
God.
that's what it is. Okay.
Also, people are saying that your mic is low, Mr. Joey P.
My
no.
mic
Yeah,
is low.
So
New
I don't
class,
know.
please.
We'll fix
They're just
that, I
giving away
promise.
all their
Live
inside
broadcast if you want.
secrets.
I can project everybody. That's
he
what's
can-
going to take.
He can start screaming.
Just scream at everybody.
And you haven't seen
So I
Joey P
interrupted. So
scream.
you,
Sorry.
you're talking
Sorry,
about the
sorry.
5 week. I was just shocked by the 5 week thing, but anyway. So yes, it's been 5
so
weeks.
obviously it's been 5 weeks since we launched. We've had numerous updates to the game, hot fixes, patches. We actually had a campfire chat in between where we talked about even a big update that was coming before season
13
1.
page.
Yes,
patch
13
notes?
page, which people are like, well, that must have been like 14 point font, double spaced. And I'm like, maybe it was, but it still was very big. It was like 11 pages and went on the actual site. But we've addressed a lot of feedback and everything related to the game. We still have more feedback that we're actually going to be addressing. And I will say that later this afternoon there is going to be
Address the
another
feedback.
patch, climb patch, surprise, spoilers, or announcement. We will have patch 104. That's going to be
Just fucking
hitting
get
all
to it.
platforms later this afternoon. There
Just
will be
get to
patch
it.
notes posted this afternoon. Not as
You don't have to tell us
very
what you're
much
about
not
to
as
talk about.
honky as
Just
102,
talk
but
about
it. Does
it.
address additional
What is all this
feedback
crap?
and issues that people have been reporting over to us
you
in the
got
actual
one?
patch notes.
Come on, put you on the spot.
Funny enough,
Exactly,
I actually,
Tommy.
Do I actually have this printed out?
I don't think you can say that 1.04 is coming this afternoon and not give an example of something we're fixing in 104.
I know that they are actually doing a gameplay fix in regards to, or a gameplay adjustment to Helltide Chess, so that Helltide Chess will now actually drop unique items.
Yeah, have the chance to drop unique items, but yes.
Sorry. Have a chance, not like a guarantee.
So relax,
Now that's
Helltide
quoted,
Chess
and I'm
drop
just
uniques
like,
now, huh?
But,
So that's okay. That sounds stupid for me as the GM to go like, I thought they already could drop uniques with Helltide Chess. So I was
This lag is incredible.
Yeah. It's so there are some content types that the rewards are not dropping like unique items from it. So like like Whisper bounty caches, for example, don't have a chance to drop unique items when you turn in for those.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah, but I think that there's opportunities for us to continue to like try to expose this more as we talk about these things moving forward. But yeah, this is an opportunity now. We want to make sure that when players are trying to target farm for certain kinds of uniques for their builds they need to grab in order to bring those things online, that those Whisper caches really can be use as a way to or not whisper caches, the tortured gifts you can get from the Helltides events. Those are really good opportunities to go and try to go for those.
And that's this afternoon. So once 104 goes out, once your uniques can drop in.
That's right.
Justice.
That's right. That's this afternoon.
Yep, and I will say, like, we've been getting, like we've mentioned, I think, many times already in this stream, we have been getting a lot of feedback related to bugs, issues, or even just, like, general gameplay feedback, and it's something that the team has been reading through and getting through, and those are things that, you know, obviously, we're addressing as we get through all these different updates in the future and everything.
We're building a big backlog. Like, this is the thing, I was making the joke about they started before, like, seasons started before we launched, just to try to set expectations. Like, we're moving as fast as we can, but we have to move also safely, because if we move too fast, we can kind of vibrate the game out of stability. And so we're trying to be as reactive as we can, but in a safe
God damn, what about the
way,
stability of your stream?
Backlog of season 1 was already well in flight, and season 2 is also very much well in flight. And so we're trying to make those adjustments. So we hear the feedback, so please don't take the lack of instantaneous response as in we don't hear you. We hear you. We hear about, I want to lock my inventory. We hear you about all the different types of things that you're giving us feedback on, and we appreciate that feedback, and we're doing our best to address it as quickly and as safely as possible. So,
which one's Rod?
So just trying to manage that.
Somebody said Rod takes away from this. Mute him.
It might feel, but again, it's only been.
Is this Rod right here?
This is a game that we are going to, we're going to support for years to come. This is a foundation.
They just fucking mute his mic.
We said the launch was the beginning, not
just fucking mute him.
Seasons and through expansions and what have you. And so please just allow us some time to catch up and work through our backlog to get to those items that we know that you care about.
And I do want to note that we're, as we were in preseason, we were obviously shooting out a lot of updates.
So on and so forth, so on and so forth, so on and
so forth. A little bit on the campfire chat, but we are going to get into a more systematic way of being able to update the game, so it's not just going to be like ad hoc, hey, guess what, a new client patch type of thing, unless there's an emergency. But yeah, people start to find a more some familiarity with how we actually update the game around seasons and client patches that may occur, whether they are.
I'm gonna need some more damn caffeine for this shit.
So we'll have that actually communicated out, and people then know what to expect going forward when we do have.
Look, Tim's like, Jesus, just let me say what I'm here to say.
It's really important.
Get out of here.
We have now talked about things we did in the preseason. We've made a number of changes on the balance side. We've responded to a lot of player feedback. We've got 1.04 coming out later on this afternoon. But Adam, what do the people want to hear about?
Zombie!
Thank you.
So
he's moving on.
Going to talk about. No,
get the ball rolling. Let's go.
We do want to talk about season 1. Season 1 is coming, and we actually have a really cool trailer to show off before.
Season 1 trailer. Let's go. So, this is what the people want.
Rich and Matt,
stop talking. Everybody, shut up.
I am writing to you. Because although a great evil is receding from Sanctuary, a new festering curse now spreads its corruption across the land. More dangerous, more malignant than I could have imagined. I have found a way to stop this plague. To rip the dark power of these monsters from their very core. And turn it to our advantage in destroying them. But I cannot do this alone. My allies have fallen. My strength is dwindling.
New class?
The malignant are relentless and without mercy. I need help.
Maybe not.
I need you.
Season of the Malignant. Okay, I'm into it. July 20th. You're telling me I gotta hit a level 100 before the 20th?
And there we have it. The first season of Diablo 4 coming out on July 20th. The season of the Malignant.
What's the date today?
Lots to talk about
6?
there. Lots to talk about there. So we're actually going to jump into it. No, I'm just kidding.
2 weeks.
But obviously,
okay,
a lot
that was
of people
pretty
want to
cool.
know what's going on. You know, we even teased it on social media yesterday, where something was corrupting Sanctuary. I guess Tim, Joe, like
Yeah, no, okay,
explain
so
to us what's going on now.
So season 1, the season of the Malignant.
Malignant.
So, very, very
Malignant.
first season in the game is going to basically take place after the events of Diablo 4. So after the redacted and the redacted have happened and the player has finished redacting the redacted, once all that's out of the way, that's when things are really going to kick off in the world of Sanctuary, kind of step off from that point. And there is a new threat that's basically emerged in Sanctuary. There's this malignance, there's this corruption that's begun to spread throughout like the hearts of the creatures throughout the world, and that's everything from like beasts to humans to demons themselves, everything in between can be corrupted by this malignance as beginning to take root and fester inside inside people. And it's basically kind of like it's changing them. Right, it's turning into these bloodthirsty fiends. Effectively, they're going out and trying to destroy everything. And it's threatening Sanctuary at a very, very, very high level. The player is going to come across a new character that they're going to introduce to over the course of the season, named Cormund, who we actually saw in the trailer there. Cormund is there he is. Cormund is an ex member of the Cathedral of Light. He used to be a priest of the Cathedral of Light. And he's taken it upon himself to start trying to dive deeper into this new malignant threat that's risen over the course of these days following the events of Diablo 4's main campaign.
I like it.
But he's finding himself maybe a little out of his depth. Would you say, Tim? Like, what do you think about Cormund?
Yeah, he's trying to fix the problem on his own, and then I think when he's not 100% successful, he comes to the player and says, "Hey, you were really helpful in the past. Could I get a hand from you?" So that's kind of where things start.
Yeah, he's very. I
am pretty helpful.
He's a person. Everything in the room is on fire, but he's sitting there like, "I can fix it. We can find a way to solve this, right?" But he's a great new character that the player get introduced over the course of the season. But that's really just where things kick off. And players will start the season of Malignant
Fuck you, Wolf.
actually in Kyovashad. And they're going to gain access to the beginning of the story of the season pretty much right away. So you're able to start off right at level 1, like jumping out of the gate and be able to start like following the thread of this new season storyline.
And we're going to talk about the transition from the current Eternal Realm into the season afterwards. We're going to get through the season information first.
Yeah.
Well, then I know people are really curious about what happens to my current.
The Amazon overlords are invading our Twitch streams.
That's absolutely right. So that's the kind of like the high level, like what's happening in the world of Sanctuary.
Theme, right?
That's the theme,
we have a seasonal theme with a seasonal story, but like what about the mechanic? On top of the theme, there's usually the seasonal mechanics. So what's the mechanics that we're looking at?
We're trying to add more stuff to seasons that
Tim does have a good
everything
voice.
the player does in Diablo 4. So we are adding.
I have to agree.
The elements of what you're going to find
Got
out.
a nice voice, Tim.
In Sanctuary, but then we want things that are new challenges for the player, things that you can fight that maybe you haven't fought before, as well as new powers, things that you can build your character in a different way, a different direction than maybe you did in any previous season, or in this case, in the preseason when you had just the Eternal Realm. So hitting all of those notes, we're starting with a mechanic around the threat. So what is the threat? The Malignant. We've been talking about it a lot. Where does the Malignant actually show up? That actually shows up throughout the entire game. Yep. When you're playing in the world of Sanctuary, anytime you encounter any elite monster, there's a chance that it will spawn as a malignant version of that monster. So that malignant version is going to have these growths on it and some additional power. After you kill it, a heart will actually appear, the exposed malignant heart that was causing this. If you then interact with that heart by using a cage of binding, it now starts a ritual where it's pulling all the malignants in and a new, even more powerful version of that elite is spawned.
Yep.
Why would you want this? How does this help you? Well, if you can manage to beat that even more powerful version where you see these other minions are now helping it, these other malignant creatures, now it drops the caged heart. You've actually put all of that malignant power into this cage that is an item that you can use that is kind of like a gem. It's like a gem in the sense that you can socket it into gear.
What?
It is very much not like a gem in the sense that it has an enormous amount of power. Think of a legendary item, the kind of power that's in there. It's like that, maybe even a little bit more than that.
New
So
gems?
you can take these malignant hearts, you can socket them into your jewelry, and that gives you these kind of stupid new broken builds that are hopefully balanced, they are extremely powerful. So these are new options of how you can play the game.
Yeah, so this is
That's
really,
kinda
really
wild.
cool, right? So one of the things we really want to do with each season, to Tim's point, is we want to make sure that we're providing new ways for players to engage with Diablo 4, new problems for them to solve, new ways for them to customize their characters. And to kind of
Stupid.
do
Think
new
it's
cool
stupid,
stuff.
Jonah?
And that's what Malignant Hearts and the powers associated with Malignant Hearts really allow us to do. So one of these things,
What a
yes,
shame.
you can take a Malignant Heart that you've managed to collect from one of the consumed that you managed to kill, one of these super malignant creatures that you've killed. This
All right,
way,
devs, just
and you can
stop.
sock
Jonah
them
thinks
into
it's
your
stupid.
gear.
Give it up.
We have over 30. We have 32 new. I'm not gonna say like over 30. We have 32 new malignant powers.
You know exactly how many powers.
Technically, it's 32. So we have 32 new malignant powers are going out this way. These are new legendary power-like.
So it looks
abilities
like you can
to
only
this
sock
one here,
them into
critical strikes,
jewelry.
electrically charge creatures for a set amount of damage. So these there's a lot of really powerful things like this that you'll be able to kind of like interact with over the course of time. But each of the malignant hearts you're collecting are actually like a category. They're associated with a color. So if like brutal hearts, for example, or like have a blue color to them, and they'll only go
That
in
does seem pretty
infested
busted.
sockets you'll find on rings and jewelry during the season of the malignant of a matching color.
I see.
So when you're hunting for when you're finding new amulets and rings or gambling at the opals vendor, whatever it is you want to do, you're kind of looking for specific socket colors.
Or if you're getting a unique ring from the new Helltide chest rewards as you're playing from the one.
That's right. If you happen to luck out and get Mother's Embrace because you need another Mother's Embrace, then yes, you can absolutely.
One will never do. But what's interesting, like with the
rub dirt in our wound.
Types of color sockets, yes.
There's 3 different types of colored sockets, but there's 4 different types of malignant hearts.
Yes. Go on.
Well, okay, I guess I will. So the last malignant heart type is called basically a raffle. It's an extremely powerful malignant heart type. They're very, very rare to find. They will fit in any colored socket as you go. And you kind of want a combination of all of these. So
That's
even though
perfect for
the
my
raffles
build.
Are pretty strong. You really only
Critical
looking to
strikes
probably have,
electrify?
2 of these based on what you might actually need for your build, over the course of time. So it's fun, really want to be able to experiment with, again, creating these different problems for players to solve, different ways for players to engage with things, and really change up that experience by virtue of adding these new powers. They're going to unlock different builds potentially.
Kind of
for
exciting.
classes, to Tim's point, and just basically be like a really fun, exciting new way for players to kind of inject new power into the experience.
But you're looking for so can the jeweler, when the jeweler right now can add a socket to, a piece of jewelry,
Yeah.
Are they able to add colored sockets, or are those only
So you can't
found?
choose the color, but anytime a ring would roll with a socket from when the season of malignant starts, it's always going to have a color associated with it. There's not you couldn't get just a regular jewel socket.
But even a jeweler created one. Like if I have a ring with no socket, when I do the jeweler, it'll be colored.
It'll always be colored.
Yeah, so
it'll
you
always
do
be an
that,
infested socket in this way.
Got it.
Yeah.
But that's true for unique. So if I'm looking for I have a unique ring, like you talked about, but I want the blue version. I could find a unique with the red socket, and I could find it with a yellow socket. So I'm looking for blue. So there'll
you might be.
multiple versions of the uniques as well, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fun new stuff to look forward to, and that's just, we showed in the video earlier, the player fighting a malignant creature. There's a chance for, as Tim pointed out, there's a chance for all kinds of elites out there in the world to be malignant in nature.
Filter loot, filter loot, filter
When you
loot.
kill them, and you go and you actually use the Cage of Binding to capture their heart.
Make it much harder to get a
and you
good
find
item.
That super consume the consume version.
I don't think that's true.
Buffing nearby monsters. It spawns a bigger combat in that scene. There's more to look forward to, and those get tougher and tougher.
Now we have
And
these to
you
add
want
to
fight
no
higher and
storage
higher
space.
versions of those in higher
That's
roll
true.
tiers to get even better versions of those hearts.
Yeah, so you can get stronger versions of the heart as you get further into the game, and you might be thinking okay,
Cage of Binding, 99 cents.
The crappy hearts that I got earlier, are those useful?
We definitely
you
need
can actually break those down at the crafter as well to get.
Definitely need something addressed about inventory space.
Items, including invokers. So invokers are something
True.
you can use a little bit further on. Once you finish the campaign of Season 1, you will unlock the ability to go and use these at a specific place called a malignant tunnel. So if you are
By the way,
trying to...
that's also the name of my colonoscopy.
Okay.
There we go. And
It's a serious thing when you're over 50. You should know that.
This is when
That is a good point. So if you have a
Fucking malignant tunnel
you should get yourself
colonoscopy?
So in the world of Sanctuary, when we say malignant tunnel, we mean, hey, I'm a player and I actually want to get
Oh
more
my
of these
God,
cards,
dude. They
but
did
just
not
a
expect
random
that
chance
shit.
on elites out in the world.
Live, baby.
Where can I intentionally find more of them? There are these malignant tunnels. So there are actually places across the world where the malignance is manifesting in these new dungeons. So if you specifically want to go find more malignant hearts, you can hunt down these tunnels.
Yep.
You can go in and, hey, there are more malignant there. So there's a higher chance of finding malignant monsters there. And if you want to guarantee it, man, I really need a very specific type of malignant heart. How do I make that even more likely? That's when you take your crafted invoker, you go all the way to the end of a malignant tunnel, and you can use it on a malignant outgrowth. When you use it on that outgrowth, it now spawns that specific type of malignant that's going to have the color associated with it of the heart you're trying to find. You kill that, and you're going to get the specific heart. So there's a little bit more targeted farming you can do as you approach the end game of Season 1.
Actually, I have like if you go to the C video, it will be able to show you the going into an evoker event where you can go in and sort of, which I've heard called the turkey baster from hell, basically, is what an evoker looks like.
It does kind of, yes. I don't, that wasn't the like art direction on it, but yeah, that's where we ended up.
So yeah, at the end of these malignant tunnels, you're going to find that there are these masses of malignants that you're going to be able to go and interact with, and each of the
That's the
tunnels
one we
has
wanna watch.
a few different ones that can potentially spawn different colors of malignant outgrowth that can spawn from those.
That's
It gives
cool.
you those
I'm into it.
opportunities to go and like really target farm, as Tim's pointed out, like certain kinds of malignant hearts as the player is progressing through the experience. Yeah.
So when we show, like we were just showing it, what?
Technical
Yeah, show the one
issues.
you were just showing, because that was
Okay.
the invoker event. So basically, there's a growth. You get to the end of the tunnel. There's you're able to.
Big boy
basically-
malignant.
Essentially, you're requesting a monster of a particular color. Yes, you're saying like, I want a blue heart, a chance to get a blue heart by trying to defeat the blue monster. Yes.
That's right, and some of these, are, like particularly later on in the experience, like the most powerful hearts you can get are going to be delivered from things like these invoker encounters that we
Right.
go and interact with. So yeah, something we're very excited about.
So basically, they use an invoker on the one of the pods.
That's right. Yeah, the outgrowths from this malignant mass.
Which then creates a blue monster for you to fight. You have to take that down, which will then. So does this one go through the same mechanic where I have to kill it, try to capture it hard to kill the harder thing?
Yeah, no shit. We all get it. We get
After
it.
you killed this one, you don't actually have to capture it. You're fighting the powerful version of it like immediately.
That's
And
what I was
Everybody's
asking.
talking
So you
shit
don't
on
have
him
to do
again.
one, too,
That's right.
Got it. So that's nice. So it's kind of a little like the sigil crafting, where you basically, I've got.
Oh,
a bunch
somebody
of
asked
stuff
if there'll be a
I'm not using
nightmare
right now.
dungeons?
I can
Interesting.
craft it down so that I can focus what malignant hearts I want, because maybe my build, I know I want a brutal heart, but I've been running into
Rod, somebody's talking shit on
malignants
Rod.
in the world.
That's my
so now
favorite.
I can go into a malignant
Rod
tunnel,
explaining
find my way to
for
the
you
end,
worms.
Have an opportunity to use the invoker to create a blue malignant to go after its heart. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Right,
What if I made gems but worse? These are way better than gems.
That's good.
He's like, I will
Way
take
better than
everything you
gems.
said, summarize it into 2 sentences. And I know, like, obviously with the story and so forth, there are like new a new boss and so forth
Yeah, there's
associated
new,
with
but
it.
we're not really talking about
We're
the
not
boss so much today,
redacted,
but, like, yes,
but yes.
It's worth calling out, yeah.
Yeah,
It is worth
there's new boss monster for players to fight over the course of the season. There
Good.
are
That's
new
good.
legendary items for players to collect this season.
Correct.
There's
yes.
there's our legendary powers, I should say, for players to collect. There's new unique items for players to collect.
Now those new unique legendaries and the unique uniques.
Yeah,
Thanks for that. Those are not just in the seasonal realm, though, right? Are those things that are also showing up in the eternal?
That's right. Those will also show up in the Eternal Realm. So yeah,
Exactly.
if you're a player who's like really trying to continue to progress your character in the Eternal Realm, there's now a few new items for you to go try to hunt for and use to kind of augment and change your build.
This is the moment where I can do the producer thing.
Okay, yeah.
So
please.
you probably saw before on the screen when we looked at the cinematic, it was awesome. And we said July 20th. Oh my God, there it is, the day it's coming out. We are actually putting out the patch a little bit earlier. So just for awareness, so everyone knows, you're going to see your game patching on July 18th. That is all of the stuff coming to you that is going to turn on July 20th.
Balance changes,
Got it.
the new items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So July 18th is actually anything that shows up on the Eternal Realm is there right away. If you just want to continue playing the
Interesting.
game as normal on your existing characters or a new Eternal character if you want, July 18th, the new legendaries and uniques that they were just talking about will be available to you on the Eternal Realm, as well as any other improvements, balance changes, rewards changes that we've made. Those will be there
Just
right
not
away
the
on July
malignant
18th.
stuff.
July 20th, the season turns on. You can now create seasonal characters.
I think it's like going back to managing expectations. I think one of the things we've been trying to be really clear about with seasons is that it is not a continuation of the main campaign storyline. Like we've been using trying to use phrases like it's a new quest line. Working with Corman to solve the Malignant is a big, is obviously the journey you're on, but it's not about the Anarius Lilith journey. It's not extending that story. It's sort of a side story inside the open world. Is
Yeah,
that
it just
fair?
takes place after the events of Diablo 4. But you're absolutely right. This is a new self-contained story within the season of Malignant, which is great because it just gives us it affords us a lot of opportunities to tell an exciting story and to create like these new big features to kind of go along with that and support it.
So as I'm playing through that now, it would be amazing if there was some way to sort of track my accomplishments through the season. I don't know, maybe some sort of journey perhaps
you
would
want
be
to track,
really...
You want to track your seasonal journey through some kind of feature.
I don't know if I could tee that up any higher for you. We went from golf to
golf to t-ball really fast. No, absolutely. So this is obviously with season 1 where we're going to bring out the season journey feature, which I know we talked a little bit about on stream before.
Everybody seems so fucking overwrought. Poor guy.
Hey, look, it's this.
He's just having fun.
Redacted all over it now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is
no top secret.
Yeah. So this is.
That's fucking sick armor.
Going into here, you'll see this. So the season journey is separated into 7 chapters. And has a number of objectives inside each of them in order to allow you to progress that chapter.
And you don't have to do all of them?
You don't have to do all of them. You have to do a subset of them in order to advance to the next chapter. I think it's really cool. So objective to objective, you're going to be earning favor drops, which can be used to fuel your battle pass, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute. Moments, you're getting big drops of that favor.
Am I going to have to buy the fucking battle pass?
But you're also going to be getting some item rewards, and importantly, you're going to be unlocking new legendary aspects, ones that you can't normally get through the Codex of Power, through like dungeon completion, and also many of our new legendary aspects we're adding in the season. If you're playing in the seasonal realm, you can collect that for your Codex of Power by going to the season journey. So it's a great way for you to introduce yourself to some of these new things as you're kind of playing through.
Yeah, I love this. Like one of the things that's hard about, for people who know Diablo 3 and its sort of journey.
Hold on, wait. Do you love this?
I love this.
Oh, that actually feels really good to hear.
I love this. The notion around, I like the fact that the subset aspect of it, because I know there are certain things. I'll pick a stupid example. It's like maybe I hate sellers for some reason. I'm a seller hater.
Fuck sellers.
I never want to complete a seller. Then the fact that I can advance chapter 1.
All my homies hate sellers.
Doing what lurks below. I think that's great, because that's like I find you get into situations. I have other games where they're like, you must do this thing that you really don't want to do in order to progress. And the fact that I don't have to do that here, that I can choose a subset of things to continue my progress.
That's what I talked about in my last video. Go check that out.
Yeah, I think it's really good to hear. It's one of the things we really
I don't want to do shit I don't want to do.
Like the base example of this is we really like letting players use our fields of hatred as opportunities to kind of progress their characters inside of the season, but we don't, and we want to include that
which is the
season
PvP
journey,
fields,
which is the PvP content in the game. But we don't want to make that like a requirement that you must go do this content in order to progress your season journey. We want to give players the option to do this if they choose.
I like that.
I do
it's like a better version of Renown.
With the season journey, and I think you're going to call it out in some other places, is that it can be confusing to players initially that you go to this battle pass screen, you click on the season journey button. Do I have to buy the battle pass to get this? No. Everyone has access to the season journey. This is a base feature that everybody is engaging with. Actually, everybody has access to the battle pass too. You're engaging with, even if you never pay a cent, you are engaging with the battle pass. You're getting free stuff.
In the seasonal realm.
In the seasonal realm. Yes. Ron has always reminded me to say that. In the seasonal realm, this stuff exists. There is no season journey if you're not in the season. That's very important. It only exists there.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
If you're not in the season.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So
I don't know why people would complain about that.
The way the season journey works, those final objectives, those final chapters are really, really tough to complete. You can get some special cosmetics, special title and things towards the end of that path. So we're excited to see players engage with it and for us to continue to support it in future seasons.
And so we saw that the season journey grants you a lot of favor to go towards your battle pass, but you also earn favor just out in the world killing stuff.
That's right. Anything that's killing monsters, completing like whispers and dungeons and things, all of these things will be earning you favor as you kind of play through the season.
The favor is much better than Renown.
That favor as well.
So if you have never played the campaign yet, you're about to buy the game for the first time with the season, for example,
right?
I'll be like, okay, I'm going to roll a seasonal character. I'm going to play the campaign. The fact that while I'm playing the campaign, I'm killing stuff, and I'm still earning favor. This stuff is still sort of progressing in the background, right?
That's absolutely correct.
I just won't run into any malignant until I finish the campaign.
That's absolutely right. But you will, as you play, if you make a new character, to your point, Rod, on the seasonal realm, and you're playing through the campaign,
I want to see more of the
you will be
free
earning
cosmetics
favor
that they
as you're
give
killing
out.
monsters and doing things during the campaign. But a lot of those, and you can also progress your season journey, but some of those objectives might require you to go and interact with season features that aren't available until after you finish the events of the Diablo 4 main campaign.
And that's probably one of the big things to be clear about. I know we're going to talk about the transition later, but in terms of getting access to the mechanic, the idea of talking to Corman, capturing malignant hearts, having rings with colored socket or jewelry with colored sockets, that stuff all takes place post-campaign.
That's correct.
And so if you haven't beat the campaign yet, you're not going to run into these seasonal mechanics.
Go beat the campaign, guys.
Creatures, for example, while you're
Go
going
get
through
that shit done.
The campaign.
Go get your statues of Lilith. Go beat the campaign before season 1.
Listen, we keep saying we're going to talk about this,
Right.
and then we talk about it anyway. But like, so I would say, like, one of the things you can do to get ready for this, your campaign playthrough, Diablo 4, new seasonal character, and dive right into the.
He said it.
It's forevermore. That's one thing we.
I just said it for you guys.
That once you complete the campaign on one character on your account,
one character, one
for every
time.
season moving forward, for any character you create moving forward, you can skip campaign and start off in Kyovashad level 1 off. Well,
but yes.
Is that the only thing that we can be doing to prepare
well,
for
we should
season
get to
1?
we should get to the battle pass. So the favor, so you have favor flowing because you're playing the game.
You're playing the game because you're doing your season journey objectives. You're getting even
and
more.
I was going to say you're getting more, and the favor.
Come on,
I'm really
stream.
flowing because I'm completing the season journey objectives, and so
Yep.
that favor is feeding into your progress on the battle pass. Whether you've chosen to just have the free battle pass or whether you've chosen to upgrade it to a premium battle pass, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
So what, can we go back to the screen, because I think it's one of the things. What we highlight here is essentially part of the thing is kind of a, we use the term.
They're having some issues.
One of the reasons you would want to complete the battle pass is you could look like this.
Yeah.
And by completing the battle pass.
Adam
in terms
T,
of the
you like the
mounts,
sound of this,
armor,
huh?
The armor that the characters are wearing.
I'm into it as
and
well.
So, did you want to talk a little bit about
Yeah,
kind of this
I mean,
stuff?
one of the things that's really cool about a lot of the items in the battle pass, there are these really exciting like armors to chase for the characters. There are like fun new emotes to go chase for different classes, and we have even things like the like what we're showing off here, like the Artisan's Tunic. We have some things that are like these. And this is actually one of our free cosmetics. Actually, is this the things are like a little bit lower fantasy that we can use to kind of like role play different kind of themes out for your characters, just give you more options. And we have like our bigger stuff like this. Like this is like the Awoken Cold Iron stuff is like some of like the like real chase armor cosmetics that exist at the end of the end of the battle pass.
It's one of the things that, like, if you notice either the role-playing armor, like the Artisan tunic or the helmet, is that one of the big things about the battle pass is that unlike the shop, the battle pass, all of the cosmetics are class agnostic. So we have a preview for all 5 classes, so you can see what it looks like on a barbarian, what it looks like on a druid, what it looks like on a necromancer, and those sorts of things. And that's one of the nice things about the battle pass is everything you're earning on the battle pass, class agnostic.
Yeah, for those transmogs.
The exception is the transmog weapons. There are transmog weapons on there that are class specific, just because classes
can
only
only use
certain
specific.
weapons.
Yeah.
So if your class can equip that weapon, then you have access to it. Just to reinforce, I think it was already expressed, but there are lots of free things on the battle pass. If you pay to upgrade it to the premium battle pass, what you're gaining access to are a bunch of additional cosmetic things.
Yeah.
So the only thing you're getting access to by paying is that additional cosmetic unlock. So there's really, really cool stuff, some on the early end, and then especially on the tail end of it, that's what you're buying into. But the free version...
Keep going. I'm getting ready to transition.
Okay. The free version
I know where I want to go after you.
still has
Fucking
some very
raw,
cool
man.
unlocks. And anything related to, well, you wanted to talk more about blessings, right?
Well, that's what they're saying with the free side. Like, so we were saying there's 27 free tiers in the battle pass, and part of those 27 free tiers are smoldering ashes that you can get based on the level you are in the game and that you've progressed with favor. And what do those smoldering ashes get you?
So these smoldering ashes the player will collect at the battle pass are, as you called out, like they're on the free track of the battle pass. You need to be you have a character of a certain level in order to be able to actually use them. So they're kind of like they're rate limited that way. We'll take those and you'll be able to use those and apply them to the seasonal blessings system.
Right.
And here, okay, we can actually finally reveal all of these. So here are the places where, as the players collecting these ashes, they can invest them here to give all of their characters on the seasonal realm
boost to
kind of
XP,
like this advantage.
boost the amount of gold earned,
that is like, bonus to
chance
like
of
XP
rare
from
materials from
monster kills,
salvage.
all
That's a big
elixirs
one.
that you're using over the.
I'm assuming that, I don't know if it's linear or not, but if times at 15%, so like 60%.
That's pretty sick.
Of that particular, the earn of prolong.
Just be an extra little fun little thing for players to help them like boost their characters up a little bit more quickly as they kind of get deeper and deeper.
Kind of true. Now you need a certain role and also correct colored slot.
My smoldering ashes, they're like earn a prolonging is where I want to invest my smoldering ashes.
What is
I can
kind of
basically
true?
take my 30-minute elixir and make it almost a 50-minute elixir. So getting that 5% XP boost. Maybe for me, it's the extra 200 thorns and the 200 armor. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, and give you boosts to like get more opportunities to earn like the or better malignant heart drops that can occur for you as you're playing.
And these are available to everyone because who's in the seasonal realm because it's part of the free track.
Yes.
And they
I like
are
this.
limited based on they're also limited based on level of the player, so that even if someone were to use tier skips, even though they might get to the tier that says free smoldering ashes, it doesn't actually unlock until you get to the level requirement.
Yeah, for like for example, like the first ash that you unlock in the battle pass is I think it's tier 8 maybe.
Tier 8,
yeah, and it has a level 40 character requirement as an example. Just to make it really, really clear, like you will be able to use this in time, but immediately like you need to continue to progress your character and like, continue to level up, and then you'll be able to use that accordingly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can kind of do my little summary thing. So basically, what we said, so we have a seasonal theme of the malignant, which has the mechanic of capturing malignant hearts and putting it into jewelry. We use that to complete our season's journey. Our season's journey is rewarding us favor. Our favor, we're then putting
Rod,
into
we
the
don't
battle
need
pass
this summary,
favor,
man.
Cosmetics and transmogs, but also based on our level and our tier in the battle pass, we'll get smoldering ashes. We can use those smoldering ashes to apply a season's blessing, which allows us to use those urns and get sort of perks for during just this season that we've unlocked.
That's correct.
Battle pass for the battle pass for battle pass, battle pass.
You never want to pay a cent.
No,
you are still getting
I
a
don't
lot
agree
of
with
power
that.
out of the season journey and the free aspect, the free unlocks on the battle pass. So this is kind of an increase in power for everybody. And then if you want to spend money,
it looks like
reinforcing that, that's unlocking.
The only end game they're
cosmetics.
adding is
And
this
don't get me wrong,
malignant
they're
hearts thing.
Amazing cosmetics. I am planning to pay to unlock them myself, but there's no power that comes from them.
There's
They
got to
are
be another
transmogs.
Uber
They are
boss,
not
though.
actual items. It's just a transmog you can place on your armor to look cool. They don't actually cause things to light on fire.
Yeah, it's just reinforcing what we had talked about before, like even before launch and so forth, is that the battle pass itself, anything that if you do pay for a battle pass, all the paid items are going to be cosmetics and for you, it's no pay for power.
And if you bought the deluxe or the ultimate edition, you already will have a ability to make that a premium battle pass. It still doesn't. So that's great for them. So then let's talk a little bit about the transitional side of it in terms of how I go into this or what happens. So there's a couple of different things. There's like, one is like there's a need. So there's a question. I guess we should talk about renown. Like one of the big things that we hear the most about is
renown.
Hey, I spent a lot of time, and I know I did too. I completed all my renown objectives. I've got full everything. And now I hear, I have to re-roll my character in season. Do I have to go find all the altars of Lilith? Do I have to go all clear the fog of war again?
Yeah, so I know we've talked about this in stream before, but it definitely bears repeating. So like when season 1 goes live, players are going to be able to go basically carry over like all of the fog of war that they've cleared. So everything, all the world they've explored on their characters in each of the zones, like in the Fractured Peaks and Scotsland and such, all of that's going to carry over, as well as all of the renown that you have earned from all of that, all of the exploration.
So can we bring up the screen? So basically where we see areas discovered, let's say I've actually, we'll say this is this person. So right now they've got 30 areas discovered, which is worth 150 renown.
Right.
So what's going to happen is in the season, I'm going to have 30 areas clear inside of Kyrgyzstan, and I will have 150 renown already in the bank. And it will have unlocked whatever 150 renown will have unlocked.
Absolutely right. Yep, absolutely right. So you're going to have that, and you're also going to have already collected all of your altars of Lilith that you've got from your partner account as well.
The same thing here. So I will have 12 will be appearing on my map immediately, and I will have 120 renown in the bank with my other 100. So I'll have 270 renown already earned waiting for me to claim when I fire up the season.
That's absolutely correct. So these are the advantages you get to start with, and like if you look at like all the renown you can collect from from discovering all of the areas and from getting all of your altars of Lilith, it's going to get you in each of the zones, basically through the first 2 tiers, and a little bit of the way through the 3rd tier for each of the zones for renown. So you get to start with, like, if you start at level 1 on day 1 of the new season with a brand new character, you'll start, and you've done all of this work with your previous characters and previous playthroughs. You'll have 5 skill points to play with, and then 5 extra potion charges. So you'll be at sitting at 9 potion charges.
At level 1, you'll have 5 skill points and 9 potions ready to go.
Absolutely. You just claim those things down. You're good to go for the season.
And your map reveal.
And your map reveal. So that goes back to what Tim was teeing up earlier. When we think about, hey, I'm excited about the season, I want to prepare for it. I've got, what is it? It's the 6th today?
Today's the 6th, yes.
So I have 14 days.
14
I
days.
have 2 weeks. What should I be doing in these next 2 weeks? And so one was, I better get the campaign done because I really want to
complete the campaign.
Fight the Malignant. But now, like, if you had places to go to, like, dig deep on clearing the fog and dig deep on finding the altars, because those are going to carry into this season.
Yeah, all that stuff will carry over with you.
Okay, so then, Tim, how do I think about, I've got 5, 6 alts, my characters right now in the Eternal Realm. We're talking about carrying over progress based on your, how do I ensure that the progress, like the most progress character, it actually impacts my seasonal character? Like,
Tim, tell us.
It's a great question. For various technical implementation reasons, we do actually need you to log in on existing characters to kind of self-migrate some of your data with this. So this is something that we implemented based on player feedback that we got. So we put it in as quickly as we could. It is in for Season 1, but what we need you to do, once Season 1 comes out, actually once the patch comes out, you don't even have to wait until July 20th. You can do this on July 18th, which is when the patch goes live. You should log in with characters that have the most progress. If you have a single character you played, or if you have one character that, hey, on this one character I unlocked all the altars and cleared all the fog of war, awesome. You just have to log in with that person. When you log in with that character, all of that progress is going to be propagated across your entire account. It'll be saved as, hey, this is just unlocked for your whole account now. At that point, any character you log on, either one of your existing alts or any new character you make in seasons will now have all of that progress. So you have to do it once, but after you've done that, it is now saved to your account. And just to reinforce, the experience you're going to have if you have unlocked all of these things, it takes a little bit of work, but if you've unlocked all of that, when you start that new seasonal character, wow, is that a lot of power. You are going to level pretty fast, because extra 5 skill points, extra 5 potions, you are ridiculously overpowered when you first start playing. Like, that is a lot of extra power.
It will accelerate you a little bit as you start.
And because that is a big caveat, like, we will be reminding everyone. I'm going to be, like, literally screaming from the rooftops. I know we will be posting it in our patch notes on would that come out for the patch on the 18th?
I guess that makes sense to have to do.
Log into your characters beforehand. Even if you log in, like if you jump into the season later on, you can log into those characters with the most amount of progress.
Well, that's that's the 2 things we should, because there'll probably be questions. But one is, I don't do that for whatever. I go on vacation. I'm not playing. I come back. The season started. I can still log in my Eternal Realm character and have all that progress brought to the season, yes?
Yes.
Even after the season started. So it's not like, oh, you only have 18 to 20 to get it those 2 days.
It's there forever. Functionally, from this point forward, anytime you ever log in on a character, it will just check, like, hey, does this character have any progress that's not already credited on your account? Cool, I'm now crediting it to your account.
Right. And so for and that's
just altars of Lilith and areas discovered,
for example,
though.
My Necromancer has everything. I've got the full bar on renown on all 5. Not humble bragging. That's a point of fact.
Humble bragging.
Not humble bragging.
Absolutely.
So for the next 5 minutes, we're going to talk about
So
this.
let's talk about how good my Necromancer is. No, but all I'm saying is I have a Sork that has not had the same level of progress in the world. So after the 18th, when I log in my Necro and all that progress gets put to my account, when I go to log in my Sork next, even on the Eternal Realm, my Sork will now have all the progress that my Necro
Correct.
has.
Absolutely. That's exactly right.
Just Lilith
just
and
really deep
locations, though. That's it.
I know. We
got 2 different characters.
We should do some sort of dev stream where we can talk and go deep.
That's true, actually, yeah. So let's say you've got like 2 characters you play. Like one has done everything in the Fractured Peaks, has uncovered everything in the Fractured Peaks, and has uncovered like all the altars of Lilith. You get another character who's gotten everything in Scott's Glen, who's unlocked like all the Fog of War, has found all the altars of Lilith. If I log in on my Fractured Peaks character, and just by doing that, all of that credit will now be transferred to my Skosglen character. When I log into my Skosglen character, all of that credit will be applied to my Fractured Peace characters. At that point, all of the credit of the progress I made on either of those characters has been propagated to the entirety of my account.
They need to specify just Altars of Lilith
it becomes an
It's not just-
and
it's not just like,
locations
yes,
discovered,
It's not
though.
like, it's not
That's
like
it.
one account that has the most stuff, and then I want to log into that one. No, you want to log into every account that might have like tons of progress if they've made in different directions, right?
And I think to just again, hey, let's talk about managing expectations. Some of you might be saying like, wow, that sounds a little clunky. And I think the point that Tim was trying to make was, hey, prior to season 1, we had actually talked about that you wouldn't have any renown progress carryover. You would have to go find the Altars of Lilith. You would have to go clear the Fog of War. Like the original plan when launching the game, or prior to launching the game, the original plan that there was no transition of state from Eternal Realm to Seasonal Realm as part of this. And so hearing the player feedback as we talked about seasons and hearing the response that we got about what, I have to find all the altars again? What, I have to clear the map again?
Yeah, they need to talk about the stash.
Make sure that
people are spamming W, but people are spamming W, but they need to talk about the stash, everything to do with inventory, and they need to talk about like, okay, so I have to farm all of my other renown. Like that kind of sucks.
Done. Did you want it done? The answer is yes.
I'm just saying, like that wasn't the design from the start was not to do this.
Right.
Log in a character on the 18th and make it pass.
Yeah,
that's what we had to do to make it happen for season 1.
And this was based off of obviously player feedback that we got since launch. So this is us implementing it quickly to address the feedback that you guys have been giving.
Talk about stashes.
And then on top of that, I like a huge shout out to our engineers for getting this all implemented before we actually jump into the season.
Much like that Nightmare Dungeon teleport,
Exactly.
like miracles can happen and very quickly. So
a lot of these actually end up with us going to an engineer and asking how long it would take to do it, and the first answer is to do it right.
First answer is they cry.
And then there's like, okay, well, what about to make it work right now? And always, if you told me you wanted to do this X months ago, I could have done it way easier because we implemented it completely differently. So
that's true.
Yeah, we make it work, but sometimes the fact that you have to log in to get the progress propagated. We would have made it a smoother version if we knew months ago.
All right, like zoom in on me. Zoom in on me.
Come closer.
Let's do that. Okay, it's not going to happen. There it is. Okay, yeah, all right. It's a live game. We know we need to it's a live game. We know we are looking at trying to make improvements based on the feedback that we're getting from players. We're playing the game ourselves, and we're kind of seeing how everything is really feeling as it's all coming together with a giant audience of players playing and enjoying the game. We want to make sure that we are making the right changes as quickly as we can for the community. Some of those things are a lot harder than others.
Well, good.
So, like all the feedback, like Adam, you called out some things really early on at the program. Like we're hearing feedback about this and this, and like inventory space. We talked about gems last time and things we want to do there. We're trying to move very quickly in a lot of these things. Some of them are a lot more challenging technically to do than others. But we are rapidly moving on as many changes as we can because we are fervently trying to make the very best version of Diablo 4 possible in the fastest time frame that we can to deliver to the player base, because we're players too. We also want the same things. So just know that we're working hard. We care deeply. We love our engineers and our designers and our producers and the staff's been helping with all the hotfix and everything else. We are trying to make sure that we are delivering a really, really high quality experience to players on a regular basis.
Well, fantastic.
So just stick with us. Keep giving us that feedback. We're going to keep making adjustments as we go between seasons and other.
Whenever Joe would like to make a change based on feedback he's seen from reading it wherever he reads it, the first version is always, can we do this immediately? That is always the first request. Never like, hey, let's get this in eventually. When it makes sense and when it's comfortable. No, it's always, could we do this right now? Is it possible for us to do this right now?
So I want to move the Overton window where I just expect everything to be done in 6 seconds.
But this is the thing about about doing it safely. Like I think one of the sort of the junior mistakes some people can make is this idea of like time is only what it takes to test and make sure that it's robust and stable. And so that's one of the things that when you look at we have a follow the sun QA organization around the world, and that's what allows us to do, I don't know, we're up to 15, 16 hotfixes or more now.
Yeah.
And our big client patches is that ability to not only can we get we have some heroic engineers who can turn stuff around very quickly, but we also have some heroic QA teams around the world who are helping us make sure that when we make these changes, we're doing it in a safe way. So, but appreciate your patience on that. And so this is exciting. Season 1, Season of the Malignant.
Yes. It's finally here.
Yes.
I'm waiting to reveal this for a long
2 weeks?
time.
In 2 weeks. And again, like Tim
It's
had
not
mentioned.
technically here for you all, but soon. Soon, very soon.
As Tim had mentioned, we will have a patch on the 18th for Diablo 4 that will contain all the changes that will be coming in with Season 1.
Yep.
If Tiffany Watt were here, who was on our campfire chat before,
Yep.
she categorized our 103 patch as chonky.
Right.
I will categorize in Tiffany Watt's words
the technical
as
term, yeah.
super chonky for Season 1. It actually
Super
is our
chonky
largest,
patch.
or chonkster, as Tim called it. I think we were chonkers. So we're gonna pull up the Wikipedia entry
Chonkers.
to go through it, the history of chonkers. But yeah, it is very big. So we will have notes up for that. And again, players can prepare for Season 1 by completing the campaign for sure.
Do the campaign.
Or discover the map, and of course,
Get all your-
lots to come for Diablo 4. Just more improvements that will
Oh my god, the lag, bro.
our balance changes to bug fixes to you name it. I can go on. There's even some reward changes coming for some Nightmare and Helltide.
Give us more stash
related
tabs.
activities as well, some endgame activities.
What the
'cause,
chat wants.
like, hey, it would be great if we can get like these activities, and so I know some of those changes are cut. I know this is a live stream, by the way.
Yeah.
So I know we get sometimes people are like, I don't know if this is live. No, this is totally live. So we're actually going to be bringing in. We're actually going to kick off Rod because we're done with him. No, I'm just kidding. Rod is actually
Get out of here, Rod.
And annoy you from the side.
I know. It's the worst. Rod's going to jump over here. We're actually going to bring back in Chris and Ryan from the Immortal team. Who will be jumping in here.
I think you're supposed to open that chair. I didn't do my job.
Rod did.
I didn't do my job.
Rod had one job and failed to do it.
I failed to open the chair.
So we're going to bring these guys in. I know we have questions queued up from different people in Twitch chat. So if you guys have questions, of course, feel free to drop in questions.
Chris is not quite in. You need to scooch closer.
Nobody's going
I need
to.
to scooch too
Scooch a
because
little
I think
bit over.
I'm
Yeah, I think
like,
we can scooch a little bit more.
Live television.
we're scooching.
Nobody's gonna ask
live.
questions about Diablo
Last
Immortal.
kitchen is-
So
I'm
here's
calling
the
it
problem.
right
We
now.
also-
There's gonna be zero Immortal questions. Unless they just make some bullshit up.
To our production group behind here, because I literally go like, oh, we're only going to have like 2 people, and then we continue to add people, and then Rod wanted to be in it yesterday. So now suddenly we're up to like 20 people, and this room can't hold this many people. So I apologize. They are angels, and they deal with it.
I love his little
we do have some
hair
questions,
from the statue
and
back
I will
here.
be kind of going back and forth in between. But we do. Oh, perfect. We do
Looks
have some
good.
questions here. Someone's also calling me, which is awful at this time. Quick question. Any updates around, this is for D4 specifically, any updates around respecting characters?
Yeah, so right now I think that there's a few different concerns we're hearing from the community. There's the general cost of respecting characters, and then there is at various stages of the game. And then there is the actual experience of respecting a character, particularly when you're deeper into the Paragon system. Like that takes a lot of effort. So we have longer-term plans on the user experience side, like on the menu side. Because we want to improve the flow of allowing players to respect their characters. These are things we're actively investigating. We have designs for things we're looking to add into seasons in the future, but we don't have a date that we're committing to today for that. And in terms of the actual price of that, we're evaluating things on like the gold economy, and we're taking a look at like what players are doing on a regular basis. We're not making any fundamental structural changes to today at this time, but we are, because we're satisfied with where things feel like in the 150. One thing we will be adding though is as part of seasons, there is now a new reward that you can collect as you're going through the season journey at the end of each season, called the Scroll of Amnesia. Which once you collect a Scroll of Amnesia, you can use that one time to basically reset the entirety of a character all in one go for no gold cost at all.
That's
so these would be
cool.
like pretty fun things to bring back with you to the Eternal Realm if you want to use for future playthroughs, or for that character or another character. So we want to make sure that we're like slowly adding a few of these as the player's progressing through the experience. Kind of make that a little bit easier for players to go through.
And that Scroll of Amnesia is everything. It's all your skills,
It's all
all
your
your
skills, all your
Paragon.
Paragons,
Everything
yeah.
goes to 0.
Yeah.
Awesome. For Immortal, we have a question from, I'm reading everyone's names, 8 Miles West. How much will the Blood Knight cost? I know we covered this early on, but if you guys want to reiterate.
The Blood Knight will cost nothing. The Blood Knight is free.
It's free. So if you're a new Immortal player, or you're a existing
What a
Immortal
sad
player,
question
you can
to even
literally
ask.
jump in, start playing the Blood Knight on day one, which is on July 13th. So, and of course, you can play through the campaign.
I was already wrong.
Has
There was an
essentially
Immortal
custom video and
question.
everything associated with it.
That's right.
For D4, I should be more prepared with these.
That's usually that's
that's
a
usually-
safe statement all the time. Is
We
you
have-
should be more
we
prepared.
have Rod judging me off screen right here, and I'm just like, awesome.
Perfect.
Little side story real quick. So we have a thing in design called design armor, where like as you're about to like talk about an idea with someone, you're like, this might be a really bad idea, but and that's you putting up your shield saying, this is my design armor. Saying, I know that this might be really, really bad, but we're talking about it anyway. So yes, I should probably be more prepared, but here we go. Design armor.
Design
Question
armor.
from
I like that.
Fig Larna.
You committed to saying the names.
I know I did.
We don't want anyone to suggest that these are not good questions.
Yeah, from Fig Larna. Will seasonal mechanics be added to the Eternal Realm after the season ends? I think that's something we didn't actually clarify fairly well.
That is a great question that actually gets asked internally as well a lot. Like, hey, this is awesome. Are we going to keep it around forever? Initially, no. Like, initially, the version of the malignant mechanics that you're seeing are not planned to show up in the Eternal Realm. However, we are reserving the right as developers that if we see something cool and we think, wow, this is just fantastic, this should just be part of the game, that we will just make it part of the game. So
Cool.
it is absolutely an option.
Like
Some
PoE.
mechanics you might see in future
Path of
seasons
Exile, I love that.
might be that way right away. We might be planning that, hey, this will show up in Eternal Realm right away. Others will evaluate them as we play them and then see if this is working really well. This is something that we want to integrate with the Eternal version of the game.
Yeah, I want to stay on this just 1 second longer. That's not to suggest that we're not going to be, as part of the seasons, intentionally using those update opportunities to create content for the base game, like stuff that will persist beyond the end of the season. But we really do want to hone in on the idea that we're like, Malignant Hearts are very powerful, as we talked about before. They're really, really cool. They're very exciting. We can't add something exciting like that every season if it's expected to all last, because the game's going to be a complete mess.
Right.
So we're not going to do that. What we would end up needing to do is all of those things would be extremely incremental in terms of what they offered to the players over the course of time. And it would make the game extraordinarily dense in terms of what the players expected to do on a regular basis.
And to understand.
We know that there's opportunities to extend things like add more endgame features. We know that there's more content.
More
we want to add to
endgame.
the game in general that like everybody's going to need forever. And we're
More
gonna make
endgame,
those
add it.
opportunities as we go. But things like Malignant Hearts, we don't want to have something of that size in season 1, then add something of similar size in season 2, and then season 3 and season 4, because the game is going to get extremely dense and difficult for players to really navigate. We want to be able to like take these things away, introduce new ideas, but having known what worked really, really well with Malignant Hearts and what stuff we could maybe have improved upon.
I like that explanation a lot.
It's also part of the cool factor of the season is that when you're going in, these Malignant Hearts, it's there for the season. So even, let's take a player that, let's say, doesn't like to play alts except of the same class. I just love playing Barbarian. And, you know, I have 3 different Barbarians already on Eternal because it's
if you're
the
a big
perfect
rogue
class.
player and all you play is rogues and all you do is build rogues.
There might be a lot of those too. But let's say a barbarian, that's my hypothetical, I'm sticking with it. So I'm a barbarian lover and I've made all these barbarians. Season 1 is still an exciting time to make a new barbarian because we have all of these new malignant powers that allow you to make radically new builds that are completely different from barbarians you played in the past. Your end game is going to be very different.
Yeah.
So that excitement goes away if we just say like, oh, all of these powers just exist in the game forever. The whole idea is that no, every season is a fresh new experience that gives you builds that did not exist previously. So the idea is some of that stuff is always designed to go away.
Yeah.
So Joe, I mean, one of the things.
This is Rod off camera speaking.
Rod, camera. Hey, voice guy.
Joe,
Yes.
maybe
He
speak
can't
to
help
the
but
fact
chime
that
in.
Starts at the same place of the season is one of the benefits, so that people aren't like a year behind when they go to play season 4.
Yeah, that's an important part of this as well. One of the reasons we really like the idea of letting players
gotta
start
chime
back
in
fresh
still.
and have like an economy reset, players really jumping back in the experience at level 1 with characters.
Fucking
is
Rod.
It allows us to focus on making sure the entirety of that journey is really engaging and exciting for players to go through. And we want to make sure, like by the end of the first session, for example, like you're getting exposed to like the new features and content available that we're introducing in that season. That everything feels like it's balanced in such a way that players can really enjoy the new things that we're adding in the way that they're kind of intelligently mixed with the rest of the features in the game itself. So that we think of that experience is part of what makes a Diablo game anyways, like making a new character, getting those item drops, like building up towards the end. With regards to like the way that we decided to conduct our efforts in seasons for Diablo 4, we think this is a really like the prime example of the way that we can make this work.
But I wanted you to hit on the point, the fact that if somebody buys the game,
yeah, they're not like fundamentally behind.
Yeah, if somebody, look, I'm going to mess with the camera people. Can you? You can't even do it, can you? You can't even get there. All we can do is I can just have my talking. Oh, hey, what's going on? The notion of the thing that we're talking about is that we want, again, the game is a live service. The game's going to live for years. We want somebody who buys the game a year from now to not feel like they're a year behind when it comes to. So one of the benefits of seasons is in season 4, on day 1, you and I are both level 1. I bought it that day. You have owned the game for a year. We're in the same place. We can play together and have fun together. And so as opposed to everybody from this moment on is now falling behind, seasons allows us to have that fresh start for everybody, right?
Yeah, that's actually, I could have put it better myself.
Get lost, Rod.
It's a really good opportunity for us to make sure the players have a starting point together.
It's true.
Come in a little bit later into the game experience. If you've taken
I agree, Adam.
Because something else came out, we want
to get the fuck out of here, Rod. There's only 5 chairs here.
The most important thing for us in seasons, like kind of going off script in a different way now, is that like when you're playing seasons and you're playing Diablo,
he can't help it.
And when you've reached all
he can't help himself.
You think are really important, and you want to go like take a break to go play something else for a little while. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. We do the same thing.
You don't fall behind.
But when a season rolls and there's new things for you to come check out, that's a great time to come back. Particularly if you had a good time playing before. That's.
Okay, I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Get out of here, Rod.
Non-zero chance that I'm going to play WoW for. Can come back to Diablo 4 and.
Question here from the
That was weird.
I'm actually going to ask both because.
Why do you have a new mic?
I actually don't. Yeah.
What is happening?
You have me in stereo. Can you say which cosmetics will be transferring between characters? So for instance.
Oh, I see. You were 10 minutes behind in the stream. Oh, okay.
Talk about Diablo 4, but in regards to transferring cosmetics, like if you ended up buying a cosmetic in Diablo Immortal, does that actually also appear in the Blood Knight?
So cosmetics.
Nobody cares. Diablo Immortal. This is a perfect time for me to mute it. Yeah, so I know what you're talking about. Kind of true. When I read that chat message about diluted loot, kind of true. Now you need a certain role and also correct colored slot. I feel like that doesn't. It is kind of weird. You could re-roll the slot, I'm pretty sure. Just like you could re-roll affixes. I'm pretty sure you could re-roll the slot. But I'm not 100% sure. So if you get a bomb-ass drop, but it's not the right color, you should be able to re-roll the slot.
Yeah, this is all transferring over with you when you go into.
But yeah, if you can't, that sucks.
The cosmetic set that you're via the store and via the battle pass, that stuff also is going to be carrying over with you.
Yes, so if you ever unlock anything, your whole account has access to it forever. Is the current functionality.
Nice.
I shouldn't say it that way. It sounds like we're going to change it.
Yeah, don't use the word forever, ever.
Yeah. That would blow, yeah.
Let's see. Nightmare. This is from Kincho Kimo. This is Nightmare teleport was great, but why can't we just teleport right into dungeons rather than just to the entrance? So this one I think is interesting because Nightmare, we obviously incorporated the teleport here in 103. It was another thing that we had talked about where it was community feedback that we had gotten and the team jumped on it really quickly to implement it in a specific way. We have been seeing a lot of feedback in regards to players having to teleport outside of dungeons and kind of go through like a couple load screens. It was a quick, implementation from the team and everything. So I know it's something that we've been hearing from our side.
Put the mic down. What's he doing?
More here in the future for optimizing and making sure that we can implement.
Hey Akira, thanks for the subscription on YouTube.
Adding in really quickly. On Immortal, we have. Was there some sort of Castlevania inspiration with the Blood Knight? Looking very, very similar to some popular characters from that franchise. Very pretty vampire-ish people, but not vampires.
I think we discovered Adam's kink, by the way.
We can turn off Rod's mic now, so that's all we need to do. But yeah, was there any inspiration kind of thrown with the Blood Knight?
I think, when you're
Turn off
working
Rod's
with
mic.
tropic idea
Keep
in
him
fantasy
coming,
like
Rod.
Vampires, you take inspiration from all over. The spear thing puts us.
Other
in line
random
of
bosses would be
Vlad the
sick.
Impaler, the aesthetic.
I love the Butcher, but I run into him like 4 times in a row, and I'm like, it'd be sick to have another boss that I could fucking run into randomly. I agree. It's really
like
cool.
A grab bag of all vampiric myths. They are very specifically grotesque, blood.
I honestly think the Butcher should drop better loot. I never get shit from the Butcher. It's like a really tough boss in the middle of a dungeon to fight, and you don't get shit hardly. I think he should drop better loot.
Familiar that we're channeling, but there's also like a very dialed in identity for the class.
Awesome.
Everybody knows that it's necromancers that turn into mist.
Let's see. In regards to Diablo 4, we have. Will you guys be nerfing or buffing in the middle of seasons, or will you be making changes after the season starts?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So,
this is from Godic, by the way. So there you go.
Okay,
I just
so
wanted
this is
to.
a real person. Yes, this is a good question.
Damn,
So we made a number of
that's
adjustments
unlucky,
over the
Adam.
period to make sure that we're bringing some,
I've ran into like
we expect them to be
10
functionally.
Butchers,
And
I'm only level 67.
The seasonal release, we do want to create structured moments in time that we're going to be talking about, I think, more in future streams, when we expect like buffs and nerfs to happen. So we have like a regular set of like patches that are going to be occurring after the season is released, where we have like a better schedule, like in cadence when we're talking about these things. We really want to try to reserve like big nerfs and big buffs for only like extreme outlier cases, and things were like really damaging the end game experience.
Woof! I swear to God,
So we
get
want
your
to try to
ads
keep
off
that
my
nice and
screen.
constrained. And we also want to have just fewer general like off cycle balance updates and things. So we're kind
Nothing
of
against
keeping more
Wolf. It's
in
Amazon's
what we
fault.
talked about.
Get out of here,
Yeah, I think it'll
Amazon.
be pretty stable throughout the course of the season, unless, if one of the malignant powers, I know I joked about them being broken, but if the zone lights on fire when you use a malignant power, we're going to patch that. But otherwise, we're going to try and keep things stable.
I know we're running close on time because we were planning on this stream to be 90 minutes, and we're 1 minute away. So I'm gonna lightning off a few questions. A big question within chat is obviously about stash space, which is something that we kind of just talked about a little bit earlier.
I'll say real quickly though, like we definitely hear everybody about this. We are talking a lot about what we need to do with this. We've got good plans of things we can do to improve the situation. I know it's frustrating to hear me say like, what you were able to do this, like you could be able to do like nightmare dungeons this quickly, but like the reality is like we are moving really quickly on this, and we're gonna be trying to provide more space in the future. We're figuring out how like we're gonna get that accomplished.
Yeah, and also one thing to note is I know we talked about during Campfire Chat.
Just add more tabs.
Gems and so forth. We're going to be part of the part of materials in the future. So I know when that hits, like that will obviously free up a lot of stash
there's
space
lots
for
of different ways
users
to kind of
and
like slice away at this problem, and that's like an example of what we're trying to do to start trying to mitigate this a bit.
And then
Gems is materials,
Jim, the
okay.
Q guy asked how much time between seasons. Still wants to level up his main. So in between seasons, obviously there is. We had talked about seasons lasting 3 months.
It's a minimum of.
Yeah,
12
literally
weeks.
can't be hard to
Sometimes
add
it might be a
another 10
little
plus
longer, but
tabs.
you'll
Yeah,
always have at
tabs,
least
just
12
add more
weeks
tabs.
to complete your season.
Correct. Yeah. So you guys will hear
based on the calendar dates, right? But
so you guys will hear like no matter what within or like once we hit that 3 month period, you'll start to hear news about the next season actually hitting and everything like that. And then this one, I guess for Rod, are there any plans on new classes coming to Diablo 4? We've just heard about the Blood Knight, so they're
we have nothing to announce at this time.
Oh wow, that was very strange.
Yeah, Rod sitting off camera can answer that perfectly. So yeah, that I think we're gonna wrap it here for today.
4 tabs is
Obviously, we talked
ridiculous.
a lot
Yeah.
about all the
4
stuff
tabs.
with Diablo Immortal for the Blood Knight coming out on July 13th.
Awful.
We also have for Diablo 4 Season 1, Season of the Malignant, which is going to be the patch will be on July 18th, and then the actual season starts on July 20th. We do actually have 2 blogs, one on on DiabloImmortal.com and one on Diablo4.com.
Exciting stuff.
They'll be going live either right now or immediately after this live stream. That'll have
Exactly.
all the
4 tabs for
details and
one
information that we just
character is a
talked about
joke.
here on the stream. Yeah, lots of stuff coming up here for Diablo.
Patch this afternoon.
Oh, yes, and there's a patch this afternoon. You'll be seeing... Oh, I forgot. That's why I have to do it immediately after the stream. I was trying to get out of it, guys. But we will have a patch. We'll have patch notes up on Diablo4.com. We have a patch article that will actually note, and we'll be updating people when that patch does hit. It is a client patch. It will require a download. It will be on all platforms. And, yeah, lots of Diablo stuff coming up here in the next few weeks. Really excited. Happy Diablo family. Tons of stuff coming up. I know we will be rating 2 Diablo content creators immediately after this stream. One on Twitch, which is Barricade, and the other one on YouTube, which is Killswitch. So make sure to tune into those guys. And thank you guys so much.
What
Thanks for
about
tuning
me?
into,
What
the
about me,
Diablo
Jake_Shell?
Update live stream. And from everyone here on the Diablo team, we hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, everybody.
Raid me. Raid me. Okay. So that was nice. So they kind of discussed tabs, right? They kind of discussed the stash tabs. I wish they went more in depth on that because that's like the biggest thing right now we need. Stash tabs. And gems need to not... Gems take up a lot of space, because I'm a hoarder with gems. I pick up every freaking gem I find. I don't know how hard it is just to have, like, 10 plus tabs, and then each tab you buy costs, like, exponentially more until it's, like, 20 million for a tab, you know? But regardless, it seems like a pretty easy fix. And, yeah, something with aspects too. I don't think aspects should be part of the inventory. That's just really stupid because I have an entire tab filled with aspects that I think I might use later. You know what I mean? I just have an entire tab full of aspects and I don't want them there. I don't want them. They need to go to like a separate area. And then what else? Nightmare sigils? Nightmare sigils should not be part of consumables. They should have like a different thing, and there should be like a tab where they just go into and stack, kind of like in Path of Exile. They have like a custom map tab for all your maps, which if you don't know are essentially the same thing as Nightmare Dungeons, but they have it. You can get a tab that has a slot for every different type of map, and you just knock them in there and it organizes them all for you, which is super nice. They should take a lot of stuff from the Path of Exile tabs because those are really freaking convenient. But, I mean, I guess it was alright. They talked about, I feel like they talked about a lot of stuff we already knew about. And then, you know, Rod would just explain things that I imagine we already understood as viewers. What was new? I guess the date for the season... The whole malignant thing with the hearts, that was new. Yeah, some new information. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to make a... Rod was doing the explain it like I'm 5 thing. Yeah, he was. And I imagine there are some viewers that appreciate that. But when it's only an hour and a half stream, I feel like there should be some sort of like side content that they make for that. I don't know. But I'm probably going to come out with a summary of this entire thing if somebody doesn't want to sit here and watch 2 hours of them talking like that, or an hour and a half. I'll make a summary, kind of talk about all the things that we know now for Season 1. And, yeah, Adam, let's see, Tommy Perfect. I appreciate all you guys popping in the chat. Of course, Lindsay and Jonah. Appreciate you guys popping in the chat. Everybody on Twitch, you guys are amazing. This was fun. I'm going to take a break for now. I might make some content. Got to work on some freaking homework. But to be honest, half was Immortal. Who even cares about that game? I know they did talk a lot about Immortal. I know the Blood Knight's really cool, but Come on. They should have had two different things. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming out. Go check out my other YouTube videos. If you're on Twitch, YouTube link is below. If you're on YouTube, you're already there. Just click my channel and go check out stuff I've been posting. Been posting Diablo 4 content, and I'm going to keep posting Diablo 4 content. So if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Anyway, I'll be streaming again, possibly tomorrow, maybe later today, depending. I don't have a strict schedule yet. I'm working on it. I'll probably start posting schedules soon in the community tab on YouTube, as well as the little schedule tab I have in Twitch. But anyway, thanks for coming out, guys. Really appreciate you. And